Dana White Contender Series Week 6, the episode, Week 6 just wrapped up. So I'm going to break down all the fights. And so starting off with the first fight of the night, we had Jean Matasumoto versus Casey Tanner. Fucking brilliant fight. That fight was fun as fuck. It's just a really good fight from these two. Casey Tanner actually got his win bonus too. Dana White said that he gave this guy his win bonus just because of how fun of a fight it was. And Jean Matsumoto looked really good in there. Climbed to 14-0, which is a crazy record. He's beaten pretty good guys as well. I picked Matsumoto as well. He beat a 7-0 guy, 9-1 guy, 9-3, 10-3 guy, 4-0 guy, 2-0 guy, 1-0, 1-0. He's big, pretty good level of competition. And he had an amateur fight which he lost, but that's the amateurs. So really excited to see what Jun Matsumoto can get done, and Casey Tanner should just keep fighting, in my opinion. See what he can get done. He had a pretty long layoff before getting this opportunity. Over a year, so he should just get back in there, and I reckon he could probably get to the UFC too, because he's not a bad fighter at all. And then we had Julia Polastri versus Patricia Aljuis. Julia Polastri, had a really good performance. This was a fun fight too. Crazy first round. They were just both slugging it out pretty much. And then, Julia started to pressure, got the back, was beating her up on the ground, was beating her up on her back, and then, just snuck in the rear naked and got the submission. Really good performance. Excited to see what she can get done too in the UFC. She got a contract. Then we had Stephen Nugent versus AJ Cunningham. Fucking AJ Cunningham needs to make his nickname the American Zombie, because this guy is fucking tough. He took a lot of damage in that fight. He didn't stop moving forward, but Stephen Nugent, he was just loving it. He was counter-striking everything, and AJ Cunningham was just moving forward the whole time. Really fun fight. Stephen Nugent almost got the first round KO. There was like 8 seconds left in the round. He knocked him down, and then Mark Smith didn't stop the fight. The bell went. It looked like he was stopping it, but it was just because the bell went. But he was literally, it looked like AJ Cunningham was out on his feet. He stood up and he was literally fucking flying all over the place. But Mark Smith let him come out for the second round, and he just kept moving forward again. He kept coming forward. But then Stephen. The one thing AJ Cunningham did that wasn't very smart is he had his hands down against a guy much faster than him, which just isn't recommended at all when you're fighting a guy who's got hands as fast as Stephen Nugent. I picked AJ Cunningham, but Stephen Nugent got this one done. And then, with his hands down, after being rocked and dropped in the first round, he actually just gets got like a 6-piece combo. Literally, Stephen Nugent 6-pieced him, and then Mark Smith had seen enough and stopped it. I thought it was a good stoppage. AJ Cunningham took a lot of damage that fight, but I would have liked to have seen the fight go longer, but it wouldn't have been. Mark Smith would have got a lot of shit if he did, because AJ Cunningham took way too much damage in that second round. And then we had Hunter Dines versus Eduardo Neves. Eduardo Neves didn't look as gassed as he did against Mick Parkin. It looks like his cardio improved, but Renato Dines just kept catching him with big shots. Glory kickboxing, you'd tell he was a glory kickboxer out there. He looked good. Neves went for a takedown. He went for like a tie trip, but Dines stuffed it in the least technical way I've ever seen. But it's heavyweight, you don't really expect technicality, but you could tell he was a kickboxer out there. And Dines dropped him, and then dropped him again, and it was a really sort of delayed knockout in my opinion. Like Neves fell very slowly, but it was really good from Dines there. It was a really good KO, and he got a contract as well. But everyone won a contract on this card, I guess I should just mention. But I'm glad Dines got a contract. I'll be interested to see who they give him. I'd love to see Dinez versus like Junior Tafa, two former Glory kickboxers, or him versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I feel like there's a lot of fun fights for this guy, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes. 6-0 now in MMA, and yeah, he had a pretty long kickboxing career, so it's not like he's inexperienced when it comes to striking. And he went to a decision with Rico Verheeren, so he lost, but still went to a decision with him. That's not bad at all. Rico is a fucking beast, and he normally knocks everybody out, so yeah, you got to respect him for that. And then we had the main event. I picked Dinez as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. I went 4-1 on this card, so our only fight I got wrong was Stephen Nugent. And then moving on, we had the feature fight, James Luntop versus Malik Lewis. Really smart and good performance here from James Luntop. I think he lost the first round. He got rocked pretty bad. Not badly, but he got rocked by Malik Lewis. But he clearly won the second and third rounds. Had Malik Lewis hurt badly to the body, but Malik Lewis, he's tough. He survived. But yeah, I liked a lot of the stuff I seen from James Luntop here. He had him on the ground and he was kneeing to Malik Lewis's body, which you really like to see. Very smart veteran type move there. And yeah, it was just a good performance. He got a UFC contract as well. I thought he earned it. And we got another Peruvian in the UFC, so I don't think it'll be long before we get a UFC Lima, Fight Night Lima, because there's so many Peruvian fighters now that, like, yeah, they've got to do a Peruvian card. There's 34 million people in Peru, and there's like 6 Peruvian UFC fighters now, so I think before long we're going to see it, and yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be a good market for the UFC to extend into, especially with how many fighters are coming up from here. But yeah, it's cool to see. And yeah, I think Peruvian people are pretty young on average. Like the demographics of Peru, I think the average person's pretty young in Peru, so it's a really good market for the UFC to get into. So I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, really good for the UFC here. I guess like it's a really good market for the UFC to get into. Like South America is massive, and getting Peru and then getting all these other like countries, because most of the South American fighters come from Brazil, but now that they're extending into other parts of Latin America, it's really good to see. Oh, Dana White gave Casey Tennant and AJ Cunningham his win money, which is good. Oh, I'm pretty sure. Wow, he gave everybody their win money. Good man. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. It was a good card. Everyone got a contract. I thought everyone deserved a contract, and I hope the losers of their fights, I hope they keep fighting, just stay active, and I reckon they'll all probably get into the UFC eventually. Because yeah, there a lot of these guys were just fighting other good fighters. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.